Hello you lovely people and welcome. Today I'm going to be cold starting the IndiaFoxtEcho Panavia Tornado GR1 or /IDS or /ECR. Pick or choose, this cold dark start will be the same for all three variants, and the info that I've used to do this cold start video has been taken from the manual and the checklists. There are clashes in certain parts and I got a bit confused. But I believe what I have done in this video will get you up and running, get all the systems up with no issues, and well, hopefully with no issues. But if I've made any mistakes, do let me know in the comments. And also, I hope this helps you out. The manual is quite large and the checklists are quite comprehensive, so let's just cut out most of that and just to try and make it as quick as possible. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get some power to the aircraft. Now we can do that in two ways. We can either flick up the rapid takeoff panel here, switching on the battery, getting power to the aircraft that way, or we can do it the other way using the menu. Go up to the maintenance. Okay, so if you want the power cart to show, click this one to enable it. So if we look out to our right, there's the power cart there, and connect the power.
Roger.
That there. Clear the alarm. Come out the menu. Okay, as you can see, now see our panels all lit up. We've got our fail lights for generators and our gear lights there. So all is good to get on to the next step. We're going to stow the pins. So we've got EPS, which is emergency power system there, so get the pin out of there. Canopy jettison, ejector seat, now that's live, and the micro detonating cord which runs down the canopy. Now we're going to switch on the oxygen and come over to our right hand side, anti-collisions on. Okay, and now we're going to flip up the rapid takeoff lever. Okay. And now we're going to start our APU. Okay, now that's up and running. I'll switch on both generators. And now we are going to switch on the cross-drive clutch to auto. And now we're going to go around, just switch on a few systems. So radar on, ESRRD to test, make sure that is in norm. Come up to the HUD, switch that on to directional mode, that brings up the HUD power. Next we are going to switch on the TACAN, so two switches to the right there. After that we're going to do IFF to standby, and terrain following radar to standby, and make sure this switch is in fixed frequency. Now we're going to do left to right, so go over to the CSAS. As you can see, we have a light there, not ready, but that will change. You can check the quarter gauges here. Make sure that they correspond with the aircraft configuration. 45-degree wing sweep, that's right. Flaps and slats are up, and so the air brake is in, and everything's in neutral. At this point, we're going to trim 2 degrees nose up. 1, 2. So okay, this is 5 degrees here, and then you've got your extra notches there. So 2 degrees for takeoff trim. Okay, so we're going to anti-glare, so make sure that lift dump is in OL. Our thrust reversers are in norm, and we've got magnetic white in the indicators. The hook light is out. And we're going to reset the G meter if we need to do so. Onto the main panel, we're going to make sure we've got three green lights on the gear, and the nozzle steering lights are out. Come over to the RPMD here and switch that mode to T. We're going to switch on our environmental controls here, so master switches on, these to auto, and then rotate this to auto as well in the middle. Okay, so next we're going to switch our turbine temperature switch here to datum, and check our engine controls, and down here we have intake ramps. Make sure they're guarded, the fail lights are on, and magnetic white are on the indicators to signify that they're open. Okay, now we can close the canopy. Okay, now we can get onto engine start. So come over here, and engine selector here, and switch on start our left engine. Watch the NH gauge here. Once that gets to about 20%, we will push our throttle into idle. Idle, and we have combustion. So a good start on engine 1. While that's doing that, I'm going to put the wing sweep to 25. Check the CSAS. We've got a ready light there. Clear that. Okay. And now we can disconnect the external power.
Roger.
Okay, got that disconnected. And everything is all coiled up in there. APU has gone out and engine 1 is up and running fully. So from there we are going to start our second engine now, so back over to the engine starter. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing again. Wait for the NH to get to around about 20%, and then we're going to push the throttle into idle. Into idle. Now we've got combustion. Good start on engine 2. Now next thing we're going to do is switch on our hydraulic switches here. So we're going to switch the right one into auto, which is in the middle, and then we're going to switch the left one into the on position, which is all the way up, and that will get rid of some of the issues on the annunciator panel. Okay, so while engine 2 is spooling up, we're going to clear a few more little bits and pieces. So we're going to come down to spills and clear the fail, and that's good. And we're just going to wait for the engine to settle. The last thing we've got on the annunciator panel is the autopilot. We've got attitude fail on there. Those two will clear once the INS has aligned. We're going to jump in the back and do that in a second. And oh, one major thing that I forgot, make sure you switch your radio to transmit, receive and guard, so TRG. Alright, so we have a settled second engine. The turbine temperature is slightly lower than, nearly by 100 degrees there. Okay, but anyway, yeah, all is good. We have no other fails other than the ones that we're going to get without INS lined up. So let's jump in the back. Right, so we're going to get this thing started. So we're going to switch on both tab TVs to on. You won't see anything. If it's a little bit darker, you might see a slight green tinge to the screens, but don't worry, they're on. So now we're going to come down to the MCCP panel, which is this one here, and switch on both of the IFU switches. Switch on the waveform generator to on, and then switch on the main computer power. After that, we're going to come down to the SAHR and we're going to rotate this knob to where it says free there. You get all 4 8s, fast direct sync. Then we're going to come up to the INCDU, which is this panel here. We've got 3 knobs here. We have what type of alignment we want, the mode that we're in, and also what we're displaying. So we are going to, well, you can switch it to norm, which is the norm, but you can have a rapid startup as well, so you don't have to sit around waiting ages for the INS to count down. So I stick that to rapid. Next we're going to put this to align. Okay, you'll see that will start counting down, and we're going to change that to PP, which is our position coordinates there. So you can see the status of the INS is counting down. Once it's aligned, we can now then turn this mode knob into nav, and we are pretty much good to go. So while that's doing that, we'll come up to the CRP MD, which is this big old screen here. Rotate this knob into M. Come down to the CVR. We don't have a flight plan, but we're going to switch this on anyway. Rotate that all the way to data entry. Click that to on. You can see that the time will start counting, and you'll get a load. Because there is no cassette or flight plan, that will come up as fail. There we go. Otherwise it would just disappear, and then we'd have a screen here that says RDE loaded. We've got RDE failed, not a problem, not the end of the world. Stick that to nav, and we're going to stick this one to nav. If we had a flight plan, we'd hit plan there, and then our flight plan would show up. Hello, I just thought I'd jump in quickly just to show you what would happen if you load in a flight plan. So I've got the INS counting down, and while we're doing that, I'm going to stick this up to data entry again, and we're going to load this to start. Get load light here. That should go out with no fail. And there we go. IDE complete. If we hit plan, we now have a flight plan. It's a flight plan from RAF Huntington to RAF Coningsby, hitting Wisbeach, and then onto Hull Beach bombing range, and then up to the airfield. So yeah, just thought I'd show that quickly. Get back on nav, so you have a more complete look in the back if you have the flight plan in as well. So there you go. Back to me. Okay, we're on our last portion of the INS alignment there. Just waiting for that, and then we can get back in the front seat. Oh yeah, we can put the seat and MDC pins in while we're here as well. There we go, we're on 0, so we are aligned. Click that to nav. We now have a screen with all our information on, and our nav screens either side. Okay, so let's jump back into the front seat, and then we can get ready to taxi. Now you will need to align 2 barometric settings. This one here for the altimeter in the window there, so we are just going to rotate that till we get the zeros. Okay, so we've got 1015. We can take this down to our main barometric altimeter, and we can change that to 1015 there, so that we have an alignment there. So all is good. Okay, apart from that, pretty much good to go. Just going to stick the EPS into auto, stick our taxi light on, and we're going to stick nose wheel steering to low, and there we go, we've got our lights there. Okay, and stick on our taxi thrust selector there. Take off a parking brake and make our way to the runway. Okay, so we've got our lights set up there. To the hold short. I'm going to hold here for a minute. Switch our light to landing light, and then using the gauge here, I'm going to trim to 2 degrees nose up. As you can see, this is 5 degrees nose up, so 4, 3, 2, 1. So we need to go to the second notch. So trimming up. Stop there for takeoff. Okay, we're going to take off the taxi thrust selector. Make sure everything is good. Oh, we never did start the radios, that was my bad. Don't forget your radios. And then we can make our way to the end of the runway. Hold there. Right, make sure the flaps are in takeoff, which they are. All is good. Right then, let's take off. Throttle up to 92% or 94. Okay, brakes off, burners on, and away we go. Start rotating at around about 150 knots, or when your nav tells you to. And we're up. Gear up, flaps up, and sweep to 45.
300 knots.
Okay, now you can trim out. Okay, so that's cold starting the IndiaFoxtEcho Panavia Tornado IDS GR1 /ECR. I hope that's helped, and if I've made any mistakes, please put it in the comments. But if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.